Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. As today, we've got places to be, people to kill. I mean, really, what else is there to say? Let's go take our ship back. Also, just very curious to see who lives and who dies. A spinner, his face covered in carved, bleeding glyphs, makes a respectful gesture of invitation. Let me show you the way, Daman. Indeed, let us venture forth. Right, so we are indeed headed back to the freight line. That makes sense. Oh my. We're in quarantine. All right, let's wade into the thick of it.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Danrok. Generous Danrok puts down the rifle and dabs his forehead with a silky handkerchief before shoving it under the tight band of the ammunition belt across his chest. His gilded frock coat is overlaid with a bullet-riddled and melted flak vest that barely fits around his voluminous waist. Behind him, a motley band of enforcers, armed clerks, and laborers greets you with enthusiastic shouts. A group of captives, silent and dejected, sits a short distance away. I am delighted to see you in good health, your lordship. I am afraid my report on the inspection of the ship's storehouses will be slightly delayed due to extraordinary circumstances. The enforcers reported that you had been sighted in this compartment, and I humbly believed it was my duty to head for the freight line with this very modest army. Would you kindly move a little to the right, your lordship? Danrok, my man. The factotum blows the head off a heretic with a precise shot, then lowers his rifle. Much obliged. Ulfar makes a patronizing gesture. Not bad, coffer keeper. I wouldn't have thought there was such a taste for bloodshed in your heart. I approve of your vigor. Janrus swells with pride. After being praised by the angel of the Emperor himself, I simply must end no fewer than a dozen mutineers myself. Well, you know, don't go crazy with it, but yeah, do your part. And I take it the inspection didn't go quite as planned? The factotum loosens the straps on his flak vest slightly and gives a satisfied groan. It was going splendidly until we were rudely interrupted by the traitorous mutants. I am afraid I have temporarily had to requisition weapons and uniforms for myself and my militia. But do not worry. Every spent bullet will be accounted for and added to the unplanned extermination of heretics column in the ledger. Okay, well, it really sounds like you're on top of things. I'll leave you to it. Though I've got to say, I really didn't expect you to be so handy with a rifle. I am flattered, your lordship. I can assure you that smiting heretics is no more difficult than shooting up serfs at my aunt's birthday party. In fact, fighting an armed opponent may even add a certain spice. Oh, Danrok, buddy, you were doing so well, and now you have set yourself back down a notch or two. But I suppose I can't really hold your upbringing against you too much. Such is just the nature of this grim, dark universe we find ourselves in. Also, good to see the ship's clans finally setting aside their differences and all working together. Just a shame it took a shipwide crisis to actually make it happen. You are indeed correct, your lordship. Serfs, enforcers, officers, tech priests, and tunnel rats have all united in their fight against the rebellious scum. The only ones missing are the Inferni. It seems they were the backbone of this mutiny, and they strangled all those who were not privy to their dangerous plan. Well, that answers that then. The Inferni are all corrupt, or at least the ones who are left are, since they murdered the ones who weren't. Danrok glances at the wounded prisoners. Yet, as you can see, our enemies also include those who swore an oath to you not so long ago. Crew members who fell for the rebel propaganda. It is your choice whether to sentence them yourself, or to leave the execution to me after you have departed on your business. Yeah, I'll intervene on their behalf. They've been misled. And no real need for us to go with the dogmatic options anymore. Not unless it feels appropriate for the character, because, just to clarify, we are capped out on dogmatic. It capped at tier 3, once we locked in Iconoclast as our main morality. So the only one we don't have capped at this point is actually Hereticus, which will only advance if it's related to Xenotech as opposed to outright chaos. Tell it to me straight, Danrok. How we looking out here? Quite bad, I'm afraid. But it could have been far worse if it were not for Mistress Sourback's paranoia and insufferable temper. As you well know, she has a nasty habit of expecting betrayal from everyone except your lordship. She had therefore taken care to draw up special protocols for all sorts of mutiny, and had stationed agents on every deck. When the riot began, these agents took out many of the seditious officers and mounted a defense. In addition, I have been informed of at least 3 cases in which the officers inciting the enforcers to mutiny were shot by Jocasta's personal aides. It looks like she had already been keeping an eye on her least reliable subordinates. I should give the Emperor a candle in gratitude for making her such a suspicious hag. I should warn you that many of the rebels were carrying enforcers' equipment during the battle. Apparently they took it from the soldiers assisting in the rescue efforts. Those traitors from the Infernus Guild stabbed them in the back. Be careful. Yeah, I mean, that's more on her than it is on me. I did order a focus on rescue efforts, but she's the one who volunteered the enforcers for it. The second she did, we knew exactly where it was going. So where do you go from here? Why, I intend to die for you, your lordship. Every member of the militia, from burly enforcer to puny clerk, nods in somber agreement with the high factotum. But I must admit we are quite exhausted from fighting our way here, and we are not really suited to being an assault squad. I think your lordship should head for the enforcer's post. You will be safer there. Meanwhile, we will take a breather and smoke a few more dozen heretics out of their holes. God Emperor willing, I will not have to die a glorious death with your name on my lips after all, and will instead begin auditing the damage the ship has suffered, as well as the losses among the crew. It is a routine procedure, one in which I have become quite proficient. Right. Just, remember you are in fact a senior officer with a vital purpose on this ship, so maybe try not to die. A group of shackled commoners are huddled together on their knees. They wear no armor, just filthy rags and tattered coveralls. Some hide their gaze, while others sob quietly or mutter prayers. Only one woman, swarthy and heavily built, glares at you. She's trying to appear proud and fearless, but her lip is trembling. What are you waiting for? Just end us and be done with it. Isn't that what tyrants do? So I'm a tyrant now. Gotta say, this is the first I'm hearing of it. Did I perhaps miss something? The woman nods. Tyrant, oppressor, butcher. Choose whichever one you like. Well, I do appreciate having options. Let me ask you something. Have you heard of the cult of the Ravenous Star? Cult? At first, the woman looks confused, but then a bitter smirk appears on her lips. Is that what you call our liberators? To you, anyone who fights the oppressors is a heretic. I mean, based on the definitions that you seem to be using, yes, I believe that is actually an accurate statement. Why, what do you call them? The Infernus Guild? The Liberators, our true heroes. When the fiery death rained down on our slums, not one of your enforcers lifted a finger to save us. But the Inferni went out of their way to pull children out from under the rubble, mend wounds and comfort widows. They opened our eyes. Right, just as we speculated when we first came in. Those two Inferni we saw working to rescue people from the rubble. A final recruiting effort. They said that we no longer need to endure beatings, fight over crumbs of food, or die after you have worked us to the bone. That people can live as equals, take care of one another, and have dignity. This is what they are fighting for. You profit from keeping us in poverty, and your faith is false. Why would the Emperor want his believers to suffer in vain? Even the ship's confessor renounced the false covenants, and went on to raise the folk hero Nemesite. And you killed both of them. Cassius sighs. The Imperium's history has shown time and again that the rabble is incapable of building a civilized society without governance. Alas, peasants do not read historical treatises. Well, it brings me no pleasure to say this, but you're as much victims as everyone else in this farce. The Infernus Guild caused the disaster they rescued you from. It was all part of their efforts to turn you against me. But I wouldn't feel too bad about it. The disaster was also intended to lure me down here so they could kill me. And here I am. The woman fixes her gaze on you, as if searching her face for signs of deception. Then she turns pale, and a single tear rolls down her cheek. Set up the disaster? But how? Trust me, that's a whole thing we don't have time to get into right now. For now, let's just say you're free to go. You can flee, or you can turn back against me. Whatever you wish. Just know that my intention is to kill all of the cultists, so if you continue working with them, you should expect to share their fate. Hey, look at that. I gave you some options, too. Forgive us, Lord Captain. The woman draws a quivering breath. We won't forget your mercy. Give us weapons and a round of ammunition and send us forward. The bastards will answer for everything. Even death is kinder than false hope. Well, I mean, let's not go crazy here. I didn't say go get yourself killed, but to be fair, I guess I did just give you options, so Good luck? Question mark? Oh, yeah, they're channeling us towards the Nutrivat Plaza. That's got to be where our boss fight is. That's a big open area. It was either going to be there or Frenzo's outpost right near the entrance. I'd better do a clip count. I feel like I spent a whole hour pulling back the trigger. Keep your eyes sharp. Those things could come crawling out of the pipes or drop from the ceiling at any moment. Oh, elevator. Okay, wait, so we're not... He attacked me. My own brother. But when did it happen? Right up to that moment, he was his usual self, joking and smiling. What if there was something I could have done? Something to save him? Yeah, I wouldn't beat myself up over it. Odds are, anything you tried would have just resulted in you being dead. Subguns in the garbage. That's not peculiar. Our factotum turned out to be a mean old fighter, huh? Yeah, trust me, I'm just as surprised as you are. So elevator actually goes to the raised platforms, which I guess means they might be trying to channel us towards Frenzo's outpost. Which would make sense. That is what, that is where Danrok was pointing us. Though I still would have expected to be channeled through the Nutrivat area, even if just for like an interim fight. It's a pretty obvious battle arena. I'm actually not entirely sure where we are now. This doesn't
I always keep my options open.
Look familiar. The shop smells of burnt meat and scorched hair. The counter mercifully hides the source of the odor. The shopkeeper tried to rescue his wares. Scraps of brain matter and caked blood on the counter tell of the tragic conclusion to his efforts. Okay, we're in the raised marketplace where we first met the Nemesite. So they are pushing us towards Frenzo's outpost. Get back, your lordship! The wretches have taken... I'm glad we just stood here and watched that happen. So what's back here? Just loot, I assume? Ah, there we go. Well-maintained rock stomp. We've already got a few of those. And some halfway decent cargo. Okay. We'll take it. Bolter. That's just cargo. Ah, okay, yes, I recognize this. This is the, we did the crane puzzle here. His lordship is alive! We're here! We're holding on! Glory to House von Valancius! Oh my. The route control console stares dispassionately at the carnage unfolding on the tracks. The sounds of an approaching train ring in the distance. With a single command, you could divert the train and send it straight into the thick of the battle, ending the lives of both the Xenos spawn and your subjects. The snarling voice of one of the defenders sounds familiar. It is Captain Klein, one of the enforcers who assisted in the Master-at-Arms investigation on the officer's deck. Yeah, I don't see us declining just yet, so let's help these guys out. The console silently observes your heroism, its lumens blinking with indifference. All right, let's get this back on track. Lots of chunky tanks out there, but a pretty decent setup. Elevated terrain to shoot from. So an ideal place for Val to set up, the only real potential issue being range limits. We'll set here. Though, wait, do we have a ladder there? Just in case we have to move up? Yes, nice, okay. So worst case scenario, if we are too far away, we can push up to those crates. Abby front and center. Cass just behind him. Honestly, just everyone else as far up as we can get them. Cass got first, so he doesn't have to start and cover. He can just walk there as soon as his turn starts. Abominable King. Plus a sniper all the way in back. That'll be Val's primary. Honestly, we really kind of killed it on initiative here. Minus Abby, but yeah, this might not actually be much of a fight. Let's see what we can do. We'll lay down zones, pop off some quick plasma fire. Then Cass will get Abby front and center. He'll grab their attention. Kibbles will trim the edges, and Val will pop the sniper. That should leave us in pretty good shape. Cass up next. Push up. Reel them in. Let's try to get them clustered near center. Can't quite reach all of them. Yeah, that works. And Abby, you're on, bud. Oh, shoot. Okay. I was really hoping you'd be able to cover more, but that's fine. That's fine, actually. We've got 2 ults on tap. We can use one to finish positioning him. Gibbs up next. Let's do some tenderizing.
A dance of blades and shadows.
Though I don't know if she's actually going to do that well with this fight, since these are almost all tanks. Yeah, see. With no fodder in the mix, she can't immediately recharge her death leap. Oh. Gibbs, you good there? I did not think they'd land those hits, sorry. They really kind of pinballed her straight through that landing. Actually, in retrospect, I should have just had her go for the sniper at that point, but that's fine. Blade dance, fall back.
Caught by the web.
Interesting, though, to see that she is really sort of balanced. She only really excels in fights with lots of fodder for her to basically feed on. She just sort of bounces off the tanks. Like, even if we had gone for the sniper at that point, at best she would have taken out one with Blade Dance, and then maybe Death from Above another. But that would have been the end of her chain regardless. Also, her legs appear to be broken, but that's fine. She's just getting her steps in. Alright, let's get Abby in there. Lock these guys down.
Victory is imminent.
Might as well take a few swings. Hope for a crit.
Indeed.
No luck. That's fine. Just hang tight, bud. Now, let's drop that sniper. That'll give us a secondary into the closest abomination, and then Death Whisper, I guess, will go into the one far right. Try to aggro it so it goes for Val instead of one of these squishy enforcers.
As good as
Nice. And off right.
on it. Who if not me?
And crown the king. Reactive move. Noted. Though he's actually about to drop, so in theory, he'll never even get a chance to swing. Alright, bud, come on now.
Quick, quick!
Maybe, guys, look, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but maybe give us some space to work here.
Like a bomb.
All right, Ulf, let's get you in there. Save these enforcers from themselves. Go for the throat, should get us past this cluster. And might as well bank an extra attack while we're at it. Okay, go for the throat. Perfect. Can't lay down fire base to base, so we'll go full burst instead. Oh, my. And that's it for the king. Ulfar, my man. Abby on full turn. Let's see if we can tag this guy on right. Please, child, you insult me. Yeah, that works. They can't even resist. Abby's got that accessory that auto succeeds on taunting now. Nice. And even nicer. Last one reeled in.
I can't stand it!
The angel will reward us.
Oh no, not a Weber. Please don't keep the enforcers out of my way. Man, now I can't accidentally shoot them. That is actually one thing I am slightly concerned about, just because our guys are technically immune to friendly fire. Does not necessarily extend to friendly NPCs, so I do still want to be careful there.
Request approved.
Nice. Puts him within a whisper of death. Cass up next. Let's force reposition the bombs, then we'll tag in Ulfar. That works. And lay down suppressing fire.
can do this better than a warrior of the All-Father.
Oh, wait, why can you not? Oh, right, because that one's technically adjacent. Gotcha. Gosh darn it. Alright, fair enough. Can we nudge you? Nope. Okay, fine. That's fine. There we go. And there we go. Ulfar, buddy. Nicely done. Also, I don't know if you caught it there, but the friendlies do appear to be immune to friendly fire. When we aimed straight through, all the enforcers were tagged as 0% chance to hit. Which is good to know. That'll definitely come in handy moving forward. Weber out. Now the other sniper.
I'll see to it personally.
Oh, and we still have Killing Edge for some reason. Okay, I'll take it. Shoot. Okay, so punch through does still have a chance for friendly fire. Noted. That is a very important distinction. Kib should be able to ramp this up for us. She definitely struggled against the chunkier foes. But that keeps her kind of balanced. So, you know, I can't really complain. Attack! For the Emperor and the Rogue Trader! Achivo, nice. Wretched scum! I fought worse than you on Dargonus. With a look of disgust, the Enforcer in the protective mask grinds his boot into a lump of mutant flesh. From the sound of his voice, you recognize him as Captain Klein, the man who performed the autopsy on the mutant during the investigation. I thank your lordship for the timely assistance. I thought it was my fate to go down an aberration's gullet like poor Ginevri, but the Emperor had other plans for me. Oh, shoot. Ginevri got? That's a shame. She seemed nice. She sacrificed herself, covered our Sally from the upper decks. She wanted to tell me something before it happened, something important. I could see it in her eyes. But she didn't get the chance. Now, I'll never know. Klein clenches his teeth and winces in pain. Stay with me, bud. I know it hurts, but I need a sit rep. What do we got? Mr. Sourback sent my squad and me to the freight line to take charge of the situation. She heard that you had been spotted here and wanted us to lend you support. Glad to hear it. You're a good man, Klein. Anything else I should know? The Enforcer post has been lost and is swarming with mutants. Alas, the only way to the upper decks lies either through the post or through the transport tunnels. But there are enemies there as well. We lost the post. I heard they were still holding. How'd this happen? By treason. Captain Frenzo ordered the enforcers to leave the outpost and led them into a tunnel under the pretext of suppressing a mutiny. As soon as they reached it, however, he began spreading propaganda in an effort to stir up irreverence among the soldiers. He urged them to join the mutiny and eliminate the senior officers. Wow, Frenzo, really? I mean, I guess there was that one time he had the mysterious injuries right after our shootout at the food vat. Still, though, that is a bit of a surprise. I arrived just in time to execute the traitor Frenzo and reclaim control. I ordered the squad to return to the post and take up a defensive position, but it was already overrun by mutants entering through the elevator shaft. They lured us out and then seized our fortifications. Just out of curiosity, what exactly was Frenzo saying? He claimed that the enforcers were being pressured into oppressing their fellow crewmen for the benefit of their greedy superiors. They called for a change of order, including reprisals and penance for anyone who had participated in the crimes of the ship's rotten hierarchy. Klein pulls his respirator aside and spits morosely. I've gotta say, I didn't know Frenzo all that well, but from what I recall, that seems pretty out of character for him. I agree, Lord Captain. We found a bite mark on his body, one that we've seen before. I suspect he was compromised against his will. Right, that would explain it. Well, rest in peace, Frenzo. And don't worry, Klein. We'll take back the post. Get some justice for Ginevra. Emperor protect you, Lord Kenton. We will cover the rear if the enemy comes out of the tunnels. Be careful. The mutants have mined the guard post, but there's something they didn't know. Klein squints nastily and hands you a small copper rod with a connector. This is Frenzo's data key that activates the Eclipse protocol. The train control node is vulnerable. If something were to anger or confuse the machine spirits, it could easily lead to a catastrophic accident. A trainload of crashing shells, for instance, or worse. That's why there are tech priest creations embedded in the walls. They're potent enough to rip the power out of any device. Ooh, okay, so this would disable the mines or the terminal. Either would work in our favor, but I would feel slightly worse about killing an innocent machine spirit. Insert the data key in the cogitator by the entrance, and the post will be hit with a devastating pulse that is lethal to machine spirits. It'll burn out the detonators and turn the mines into harmless chunks of Physaline stuffed iron. Yeah, maybe. Hey, level up. Nice. But, yeah, we'll maybe see if we can get by the mines without having to nuke the whole guard station. Because I feel like taking out the terminal will likely cause some negative side effect. But, you know, obviously we'll scout out the situation before we make our call.
Keep your wits about you.
Right, so stairs here lead up to the platforms which loop back to the outpost. There's our Webbers. Nothing to really write home about, that's just cargo. And our snipers. Rocking Rebel sniper rifles. The highest end sniper rifle from Act 1, now basic cargo fodder. which I think brings us to a good place to call it. We've got to level up in the queue, so I'm going to have to stop to take a look at that anyway. We'll hit the pause button here. I'll take care of the usual off-screen bookkeeping, figure out our level ups, and we'll pick up here next time for a total eclipse of the parts. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Yuri V23, Revenant, Alois, Arrow Bowman, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Lady Shayna, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.
The angel will reward us.